Stockport County, your new leaders over in League One, that's right. But will they still be there in a very competitive third tier at the end of this weekend's action? We're going to get into it, all of it, next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at match number 15, that's right, over in League One, and we'll get to it in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, League One, whoa, football, we got it all here under one rooski. It's absolutely crazy over in the league at the moment, with anyone down to 6, could be top of the table at the end of this week's action. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are, and again, if you're new, smash that subscribe. And can we get a cheeky 40 likes on this video? Let's make it happen. Of course, let's get into the deep end and recap what went on last time around. These were the results and my picks on the left, the Rooters on the right. I think I did pretty shit in these picks here, so we're not really going to gloss over them too much. In fact, I did pretty terrible. We're not even going to look at it. Well, we are going to look at it. I got this one close, the Reading Doncaster, of course. But other than that, I'm desperate to see if I got Cardiff defeat. Yeah, anyway, it is what it is. It is a bit ugly and it is a bit murky, but we're going to move on to the table. Of course, this is how it looks. Stockport County top the charts. They're 28 points. Bradford are in second. They were 27 points. Then it's Cardiff, Stevenage, Lincoln and Wimbledon. All of those guys can be top of the table at the end of this week's action. Meanwhile, the rest of the players also hot to trot with the likes of Bolton and Mansfield trying to get in there. As for the drop zone, Peterborough, of course, changed their manager. Blackpool changed their manager. Plymouth yet to pull the trigger on Cleverly just yet. Reading also changing their manager. Wycombe changing their manager. Northampton Town changing their manager as well. Luton changed the manager. Huddersfield Town borrowing time. And of course it could also change. Lots of jiggery-pokery going on with the old managerial merry-go-round. But of course, will we see that affect the table with this coming match day? Well, we'll get into it in a minute. This is the link for the prediction league. It is still live. We're still doing updates, casual updates. But of course, we'll get into them pretty soon. I think we're going to get one up to you next week or so. Let's get into it then, shall we, as we look forward to this game. It all kicks off on November the 4th as Rotherham take on Burton. That's a catch-up game. It's, of course, I believe, from a previous fixture list. It's not on my list here, but let's just talk about it here. It's a tight one. It could go either way. Of course, Rotherham have been cooking with gas of late, getting a nice run together. They might win this game. I think Rotherham might edge it. But let's just, for the sake of it, go with the 1-1 scoreline. So let's hop on over to the Majewski. Also playing, that's actually on Tuesday the 4th, that Rotherham game. We do kick off this Thursday, November the 6th. It is Reading. It's Stevenage coming at the Majewski with Liam Richardson in charge. That's right. Coming in as 19th at the table, 15 points for them, just one defeat in the last 6. Up against Stevenage and Alex Ravel. They are 4th right now, 26 points for them, just one defeat in the last 6. They played each other 10 times since 2011. 4 wins Reading, 2 wins Stevenage. There's been 4 draws, including back-to-back between these two clubs here last season at Reading and at Stevenage. Both ended up all square. Meanwhile, Reading on the back of a 1-1 score on themselves. Stevenage on the back of that 1-1 score against Bradford as well. Lots of 1-1s knocking around. Of course, I am recording this before the FA Cup action, so bear that in mind. But the bookies' odds on this one, they find it very, very tight, just leaning towards Stevenage. I think the new manager bounce will have an effect here. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Reading on this one. Let's go to Northampton Town then, shall we? As they, where are we on this one? They are taking on a Mansfield Town, of course. That's coming at you over at Six Fields. Early kickoff on the 8th of November. Northampton under Kevin Nolan. They are 16th right now. 17 points for them. Just one win in the last 4. Up against Mansfield and Nigel Clough. They are 8th right now. 22 points for them. Just one defeat in the last 6. They played 27 times since 2003. 8 wins for Northampton. 13 wins for Mansfield. 6 draws between the two sides. They last played at this venue, resulting in a 2-0 win for Mansfield. That's back in September 2024. Northampton losing to Luton most recently. Mansfield on the back of that 2-0 win over Plymouth, of course. Bookies for this one. I know it's a little bit out there yet, but it's narrowly in favour of Mansfield Town. I've gone with a 1-1 scoreline because it is a tight one to call. Let's go to, we're going to go to Wycombe Wanderers now as they take on Leyton Orient, coming at you at Adams Park. Michael Duff's lads are 17th right now. Just one defeat in the last 6 up against Leyton Orient under Richie Wellens, and they are 14th right now. 17 points for them. Just one defeat in the last 5. They played 17 times since 2004. 10 wins Wycombe, 5 wins Leyton Orient. There's been 2 draws. They last played, of course, at this venue. It was a 3-0 win for Wycombe back in October 2024. They've already played each other this season at Brisbane Road, resulting in a 1-win for Wycombe. That was in the EFL Cup. Wycombe, of course, looking at it right now, 3-0 winners last time against Huddersfield, the Orient in the league. Last time around, 1-0 winners over Lincoln at Brisbane Road. The bookies for this one, though, Wycombe fancied the moment here. 2-0 winners. You'd fancy the chances right now because Duff is doing their thing. Let's go to Blackpool as they take on Cardiff City. Blackpool, of course, making the managerial switch with Ian Evatt now in charge. Unbeaten now in the last 3. They're 23rd, though, with 12 points. Up against Cardiff under Brian Barry Murphy, they've won 3 and they've lost 3 over the last 6. They do sit 3rd with 26 points and played Blackpool 18 times since 2003. 3 wins Blackpool, 9 wins Cardiff. There's been 6 draws. Last time around, though, at Bloomfield Road, it was a 3-1 win for Cardiff back in April 2023. That was in the Championship. Blackpool, though, picking up a 2-1 win over Peterborough most recently. Cardiff with that impressive 2-1 win over Wrexham in the Carabao Cup to get through to the next round. The bookies for this one, though, they'll back Cardiff City here. I'm going there with a 2-2 draw. I think Everett's got them cooking, believing in themselves again. I think they'll get a point, if not more than that. Let's go to Bolton as they take on Port Vale coming at you over at the Community Stadium, or whatever it's called, over at Bolton these days. Schumacher's got them in 7th right now, 23 points for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 4. Up against Port Vale under Darren Moore, just 1 win in the last 5. They are 21st with 13 points and played Bolton 21 times since 1994. 17 wins Bolton, just 1 win for Port Vale. There's been 3 draws. They last played competitively at this venue as a 2-0 win for Bolton back in April 2024. Bolton are on the back of that 1-0 win over Cardiff. Vale losing to Stockport most recently, and they haven't scored a goal in the last 2 matches. The bookies for this one, they'll back Bolton. They should do. They've got a couple of home games here. Got a bit of a streak going on, I reckon. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Bolton. Make a push possibly into that top 6. Let's go to Bradford City up against Burton Albion. That's right, coming at Valley Parade. Graham Alexander's boys are second, but they are drawing a lot of games. They've drawn 4 of the last 5. Up against Burton, up against Gary Bowyer, who have just lost twice in the last 6. They sit 20th with 15 points. They played 16 times since 2009. I do believe. Oh, did he manage Bradford? Yeah, Gary Bowyer? I don't know, he didn't. He managed Salford. Anyway, they played 16 times in 2009, 5 wins apiece and 6 draws. They last played at Bradford, resulting in a 1-0 win for Bradford back in August 2018. Bradford on the back of 3 successive draws, drawing with Barnsley, drawing with Stevenage and Lincoln, all competing for those playoffs. Burton on the flip side, picking up a 1-0 win away to Wimbledon. The bookies for this one, they'll back. Again, Burton have got that other game against Rotherham up ahead as well, where they're expected to lose that game. They're expected to lose this game as well, so it could be a difficult week for them. Gone with a 2-0 win for Bradford to take it to the house. Let's go to Doncaster then, shall we? The Keepmoat as they take on Barnsley. A bit of a Yorkshire affair, this one. Doncaster under Grant McCann, they sit 12th right now, 18 points for them, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Barnsley under Conor Hoonahane, also 1 win in the last 6. They sit 11th with 18 points as well. Both sides desperate for the win to get them closer to those playoffs. They played 24 times since 2004. 10 wins Doncaster, 7 wins for Barnsley. There's been 7 draws. They last played over at Doncaster at the Keepmoat in the league. It was back in March 2019 in League One. Barnsley on the back of that 1-0 loss to Rotherham most recently. What are we looking at? Doncaster with a draw away to Reading. Tight one, this one on the bookies here. They do lean in favour of Doncaster. I think I've gone with a 1-1 scoreline again, as it's very difficult to decide between these two. Let's go to Exeter City as they take on Wigan Athletic coming at you down the south coast at St James's Park. That's right. Exeter under Gary Caldwell, they are 18th right now, just 1 defeat in the last 5. Up against Wigan, Ryan Lowe, just 1 win in the last 6. They sit 13th with 17 points. They played Exeter 5 times in 2023. 1 win for Exeter, 2 wins Wigan. There's been 2 draws. They last played, of course, back-to-back last season, draws between the two sides. Exeter with that 2-0 winners over Plymouth in that South Coast derby. Last time in the league. Wigan drawing with Mansfield, of course. Bookies for this one, tight, airtight, going in favour of Wigan here. Not me. Again, tight one to call. Going to go with a draw here, 0-0 in the end. Move on forward to Huddersfield Town, under pressure. Up against Cleverley, also under pressure, that's right. 2 coaches desperate for a result, and they played just 6 times in 2003. 2 wins Huddersfield, 3 wins Plymouth, and 1 draw. Huddersfield are 9th right now, 19 points for them. They've lost 5 of the last 6. Up against Plymouth, Tom Cleverley are 22nd, 13 points for them. They've lost 3 on the bounce, goodness gracious me. They last played at this venue, resulting in a 1-1 scoreline. Plymouth are unbeaten against Huddersfield over the last 3. Huddersfield losing last time against Wycombe, Plymouth losing to Exeter and then Mansfield. And they haven't scored a goal in the last 2. Just 1 goal scored in the last 3 for them. Bookies odds for this one. Huddersfield are fancied here. I think I've given it to them as well. 2-1 winners. They are up there, and they need a result. I still think it's a matter of time before both of these guys are ousted in the latest managerial merry-go-round. Speaking of managerial merry-go-round, we have a new coach over at Peterborough. Luke Williams is in charge. They are rock bottom with 10 points, 3 wins, 3 defeats. Of course, Darren Ferguson is no more. Up against Wimbledon under Johnny Jackson, they are 6th right now, 25 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They played 13 times since 2016, 5 wins apiece and 3 draws. They last played competitively at this venue. It was a 3-0 winners for Peterborough back in February 2021. The Posh are on the back of that 2-1 loss to Blackpool. Wimbledon on the back of that 1-0 loss to Burton. The bookies for this one, they will back Peterborough under the new coach. Gone with the 2-1 win as well to make it a first win in I don't even know how long. Of course. Next up we go Rotherham as they take on Lincoln, of course, at the New York Stadium. Matthew Hamshaw's boys are the form team right now. Unbeaten at least the last 6. They've won 5 in the bouts, taking on Lincoln side. And Michael Scabula, they are 5th right now. 25 points for them. Just 1 win in the last 4. They played 18 times to 2008. 15 wins for Rotherham, 2 wins for Lincoln. There's been 1 draw. They last played, of course, back-to-back last season, back-to-back wins for Rotherham, both at Sincilback and this venue back in December 2024. But Rotherham are on the back of that 1-0 win over Barnsley. It's actually been back-to-back 1-0 wins for Rotherham in the league up against the Lincoln side. We haven't scored a goal in the last 2. Goodness gracious me. It does smell like a 0-0 here. But bookies will back Lincoln. I've gone with a 2-1 win as well to dent that Hampshire run of those many games. And then finally we have a ding-dong classic against Stockport County against Luton Town. Of course, Devon and Shannon Stockport are top of the table with 28 points, just 1 defeat in the last 6 up against Lincoln and the Jack Wilshere back-to-back wins for them. They sit 10th right now, 19 points for them. They played Stockport 9 times since 2003. We've got 6 wins. Luton, nothing for Stockport. There's been 3 draws. Luton have actually won 3 in the bouts against Stockport, and they've won all of them 1-0. That's right. Stockport, though, on the back of that 3-0 win over Port Vale. They haven't conceded a goal in the last 3 up against the Luton Town side. Back-to-back wins, of course. One was in the Football League Trophy. The other one was against Northampton Town. Bookies on this one will back Stockport. They are the home side. It is at Edgeley Park. I've gone with a 2-2 thriller here. I think Jack Wilshere will get a point to keep the wheels of momentum moving in the right direction. If I'm right, guys, this is what the table will look like. It'll be Bradford City now top with Stockport County dropping to 2nd, Lincoln 3rd, Cardiff 4th, Stevenage, and then Bolton. Going down, Peterborough, Blackpool, Plymouth, and Port Vale. It is very, very tight down the bottom there. But it could all still dramatically change. And don't forget the prediction league is out there. I think it's on the bottom. Of course, we look forward to seeing you guys, of course, your table toppers next time. Until then, I'll see you soon. Whenever you return, whenever that. Subscribe and like the video.